It's another tired day. What's up, Jimbo? What's up, Zalik? Oh, back on the grind. Oh, of course that bastard goes live now. Um, I mean, like, cracks me up. I threw 100 pulls. Well, more now, because I'm guaranteed to get tail on my next, like, legendary. Trying to get the, at least the first transcendence. But, like, I got tail from the regular summon. For the guaranteed legendary one that you got. Yeah, I saw it. I was ignoring it. You've gotten too many of those. Borderline about to kick you out. Getting all these sands and not transcending your snake. The audacity. And adding random people through Snapchat, find friend feature. You know, Jimbo, I still vote for you. I don't know, not being a hoe. Just saying. Well, hot. How? How does it mean you're being a hoe? Because we both know why you're doing that. Don't fucking try to act innocent with me. Oh, 20 minutes. All right. Love is a rescue with someone to lose. See what my rate to. I'm right. I hadn't gotten to that part yet. Doesn't mean you're not a hoe. Statement still stands. The intention is there. All right, I was 24. For some reason, I thought I was 22. You can't hide from me, boy. Been around the block too many times. I just saw someone whose account name was Thick Opa. This game, bro. Degenerates. Need someone to go to a concert with? Shaking my head. Also, I'm like 90% sure that like all the global servers, like the server 123 that they did, is literally just extra servers on the Korean servers. Because like everything is based off of the Korean time. Because I was wondering why they mailed us 100 keys yesterday. And then I look and there's an event that on Saturday and Sunday, if you log in, they mail you 100 keys. But yesterday was Friday for North America. So it was based off of Korean time. Completely. So it just begs the question, like, why it took 4 months. Like, I wonder if there was like some issue server wise or law wise or whatever. So I don't think we have an all the time percent chest piece. Well, we definitely don't have a crit damage one of these because I would put it on tail. Oh wait, I do have one on tail. So I need a crit rate. Flail. So yeah, we're gonna be sitting in stage 5 for a little bit. Or 6. Is 6? 5, 6? 5. Also, it's kind of funny. My mother now has a better like monitor than I do. Today she got a 37-inch curved monitor. It cracks me up just thinking about it. Oh, 1,000. Yeah, that was meaty. All right, I need a grand blue going on the side. I guess it's a good thing we don't need it. Finish up the red. May have found a local goth girl. Jesus Christ. I'm just saying, Jimbo. Have you tried not being a hoe? Just asking for a friend. You are that friend. Oh, crit? Crit rate? Crit damage? Either. Pain. Pain, Peko. Huge success, but again, no gear piece. Burned. You dirty liar. Mm. We ain't trying that again yet. When your tendencies get too hyped up, and then you're gonna be like, well, maybe it'll be different. You know, ironically enough, I think like goth girls are like one of the only type of girls I have, or like, yeah, one of the types that I haven't dated before. Which, from some of the horror stories I hear, blessed. I'm so sad because I haven't been able to get good defense pieces for Evan. I wonder when they're gonna add Lubu to the game. Lubu's probably like my third favorite character that they had in the original Seven Knights. His kit was kind of a bit of a meme, but I still used it because Lubu. I wonder if they'll put him on his horse again. Because in the original Seven Knights, I think he was like one of the only, if not the only, like mounted character. No, I think there was like one more, but he was like definitely the first one that they had released. Oh wait, no, yeah, Miho existed, but I think he existed before Miho did in the original game. I could be happy enough. The problem is with how much damage we're taking. I really want to do stage 6 to guarantee the 5-star, but we just don't have enough HP because our gear is not very good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need 5 more, and then we can get this to get the block right. Yeah, we need to get better defense pieces. And I could be happy, happy now. Figure it out. Yeah, because Miho rides their tiger. I think there was one more that also was like mounted besides Miho and Lubu. You know, I've always been kind of curious why the cooldowns were time based and never turn based for this at least rendition. In the previous version, I'm saying you didn't have this whole loop of you have to attack twice, use a skill, they attack twice, use a skill, like back and forth kind of deal. it was kind of just skills got yeeted out. So it kind of made sense that it was the cooldown was time based. But I guess they wouldn't really have a way to. Ooh, oh, I could use this for Snipper. Do we have a decent? I don't think we have an all attack percent chest piece you can use though. Wrong side. All I feel is neck pain. Defense block ready. Defense. Yeah. Has it been 20 minutes? Close. My arena should be almost capped out. 6 minutes. So probably another raids, 2 or 3 raids. Espada cannot come home soon enough. Yeah, I finally unlocked the wish list. So hopefully one of those YOLO pulls brings home Espada or Pascal or Biscuit. Or just get like all 3 of them in one 10 pull. That'd be great too. Yeah, I really hope that at one point they add to the auto backup request. Like a feature where you can set it to do it when it's at like 50% HP it does it. Actually, you don't know. We're gonna make sure that Black Rose has everything because she doesn't mind having the all attack percent on the weapon. If I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. Oh, no, she still does not the crit damage. So yeah, then we'll just put that on Snipper for now. You and your stupid all attack percent on my defense gear. Also, if the stream cuts out, it's because there's a thunderstorm going on, so means we lost power. And if that happens, then I will see you guys on Monday. Tokyo. Oh, yeah. Wow. I wasn't expecting Snipper to die there. Oh, shit. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's usable. Definitely an upgrade for Yui. Or not Yui, Foxgirl. Boom, boom. Did I get the reward for this one? Or is it the next 10? Okay, yeah, we get the 2000 honor. Looking forward to the brilliant diamond from that. I guess I'd probably end up using that on Teo, even though honestly I wasn't overly impressed with his skill enhancements. I mean, 40% extra damage, 40% extra damage, but I was expecting a little bit more. I guess because of the fact that at T6 he gets 100% crit rate on his 2 skills, it probably would have been a little bit too much. But this one's probably the best one, his passive, because when he dies he'll get physical damage buff, which at 39% is a pretty hefty increase. One second. What? Wait. No. No. Alright, if you hear whining, it's my dog pooping his pants to the thunder. But yeah, I don't really have another legendary character that I feel like is worth. Because it's literally just a 50% increase on her basic attack. I think this just increases. Wait, what does this buff? Oh, it just gives her 20% more damage on that. This one, her skill 3 is like probably the only one that's really worth. Which you can't control what gets like enhanced, so So I have to check. Oh, that's just. I just thought that would let me like toggle the thingy. What's in here? Oh, the red ones. I'll say for this one. Fury. Yeah, she can hold on to it. Well, the problem is that we don't have. Oh, we have two of them at 5 star. That's not bad. This one's the better one out of the two because it has crit rate on the substat already. But I don't think we have a chest piece that's worth a damn. Nope. Oh, the hatred. Run away from validation. They get it. Every time now with the whole like fighter origin thing, whenever I open my like Magna 3 raids, I feel like I'm just like here, pleb. I feel like the Hulk taco scene, except for the Magna 3 raids, the people trying to grind for the animas. Thirty years, 30 years of pushing everyone away. I don't understand. We are not the same. You don't have the space. I also find it amusing that she does that whole like spinny thing with two silenced Glocks. Which I mean, they could be full auto, but for the most part, most pistols tend to be semi-automatic. So it means that if they're semi-automatic Glocks, then she's pulling the trigger that quickly when she's going through the animation, which amuses me. Oh yeah, sure. Give me a defense percent 4 star piece for this fucking game. So I wanted to do stage 6. Mm-hmm. What's our defense at? 960. It's +3 though. 22 out of the 30 for Colossus. I believe in you will get there. I would say, something that's been surprising. I have not seen. I spent like, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes looking for like a Belial backup request, and I did not have one pop up yesterday at all. And I'm just like, oh, it's gonna be like that, huh? I don't know if people are just like soloing them or what. I guess I could like just host my own. I hope that this time around they end up adding like actual new raids and not just like higher difficulties for the raids that we have. I think that was one of the things that kind of killed the original Seven Nights. Well, to be fair, I didn't play like all the way through till end of service. I don't know if they maybe did end up adding like new raids, but when I played it was they basically just added like new difficulty tiers. And even then I think it was like the dragon was the one that got it. I don't think they even did it to all three of them. So, and like part of it is that just makes gearing like stagnant because we just had the same like gear sets the whole time. So I think it'd be kind of nice if we had like I don't know what I mean. They could add like a crit damage set. Like it's not that hard to come up with some other set pieces early in the morning. So could just be a time frame thing. Maybe I did do it towards the evening, which usually the raids are a bit more active, but sometimes yeah, like it's like on the weekdays. Sometimes I think in the mornings it's a little more popping for the higher level fights. But I'll probably try again later because I only need like 3 horns. The one sad part is that both replacements for Snipper and Black Rose are both magic units, so you can't transfer their weapons to their replacements later. Which is why I tend to be a little, unless it's like a really good like physical weapon, I tend to be a little slower to upgrade the weapons for these two compared to upgrading even just like a decent like chest piece. Because a decent chest, like the chest piece, they're not two different types between physical to magic. It's the both unit types. Like all the units wear the same chest piece. It's just the weapon that's different. And this like pre-raid team in particular is the only one that has that issue where you go from physical to magic. 3 horns, one backup. Yeah, yeah, if I'm lucky and do enough. To be fair, I don't mind like doing more of them either though, because well, now I have to refarm all of the all of the horns and like wing blades that I had been saving up to transcend my opus. I'd just been slowly accruing them through the honors from events and stuff. I think we're gonna win this one. Oh, we might. We haven't procced Arteo's thing, and both of the tails have already used their dispel moves. Let's go! Oh shit, we ranked up. We made it to silver 3. I honestly didn't. I was honestly very prepared to be stuck in bronze for a while because This early arena can be a little bit of a shit show. Because if you get like people who've kind of swiped a bit and have decent setups but haven't done like the grinding to get like all the gears up, like they'd be stuck in bronze. They could be down in bronze, or that maybe they just don't do arena at all. I think that's part of the reason why there's the event going on, the one that you get stuff for doing arena fights, is to kind of just incentive, just to be like, yeah, you should go do arenas. Is my black? Oh yeah, my black rose is at +5. So probably just do Charon. 16 were returned. He didn't get any of them. Fucking 25% my ass. 25% chance, and we used 4, and he didn't get a single level. Oh, this is, oh wait, no, is he? No, he's still at 4. Yeah, so we need this. All right, I think it'll be fine for now, but I was debating on whether to use Evan instead of Rachel. I think we might lose our death immunity, bro, here in a second. Yeah, especially because now he's already in his angry phase. Oh no, we're fine. To be honest, Spike is not a good investment, but Spike is my boy. It's my dog. I think he was 50 of that. All of these pages have 50 of that. That's actually really good. I didn't notice that on the Korean account. Does it ever upgrade to the other one? Oh, it does. Oh wow, that's actually really good. Deep in my brain. Cause I don't know how long I'll love. I don't think we have any really good pieces for upgrading right now. Oh, well, I guess we could upgrade like Evan's stuff. We got +3 there. Oh wait, I think both of the stuff is +3 already though. Happiness, time on the coast by the ocean, found paradise, then I was eternal, living the life. Levianima might be a bit of a struggle depending on speed because I don't have a setup that gets blue chest on her super fast in there. Yeah, and Dirt is definitely one of those that has a decent amount of has a decent amount of speed setups. Oh, oops. Accidentally soloed a Chev, right? Rip. Rip the dream. Next Guild Wars is wind favored question mark? Like it's dirt bosses, right? Deep in my brain. I can't hold your hand, 'cause I don't know. Yeah, alright. I should at the very least start doing like Siete and Diaspora host. Siete in case I can, I don't know, mooch off your luck and get I wasn't paying attention. And get some swords before it pops around. And then Diaspora just for Ultimate Mastery for Spartan. Hence why you can't always reliably find Sietas now. True, because it's the usual, oh snap, Guild Wars, go, 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 shenanigans that happens. Wait, did his game crash? Yeah, I think his game crashed. I get lost in the old times again. But yeah, I mean, I don't particularly think, I don't even know if I've gotten a Siete sword. I've gotten enough to like, I think I've used the Siete materials to Ultimate Mastery, like two things alongside with Diaspora materials. But I don't think I've gotten a sword to drop yet. That was defense percent. Actually, no. Even there's no physical character I think that wants defense set besides Evan, and he wants defense percent on a defense set. Unfortunate. Because if that was a block rate book with defense percent, that would have been good for Lucy. Give me words of love. I get lost in the old times again. HP percent might be good for you. I don't remember what I have on you. Yeah, see, like if it was, well, no, even then, because like I think Lucy still, like you can use defense set on her, but she wants the block set instead, with just defense main stat on everything. Oh God, ready for Rise of the Beast in the morning? I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of that. I don't even know what ROTB means. Perfectly reads acronym, turns around and goes, I don't know what that means. Very convincing, I know. Ugh. I might do some grinding for it, but like, ugh, just ugh. I got this, and I got I'm glad I got that in time. I didn't read the first click. Sometimes it's not like this PC app is not as responsive as like if I just use the emulator. I don't know. There's a setting for that I gotta change or something. Maintenance on Wednesday. Wait, what comes Wednesday? Oh, uncut. Oh wait, the new wait, what? Oh right, the new class gear, the shields and stuff. Then a cocaine. Uncut Minotaur shields, Fall Zero solo quest. Oh yeah, I forgot about all of that. The only things my brain registered this month was Guild Wars, Fighter Origin, and that was it. Ten of cocaine.
Hippity hoppity, your Yubi is my property.
Look, I need these UBs. Alright. You think queuing these skills is possible without UBs? You're wrong. No. If anything, you should be giving me your UBs. You don't need your UBs with how many signs you've been getting. I'm about to confiscate them. No, we had gotten like a half decent piece, and then now it's back to giving me defense percent. I need them to release a character that wants the crit set with defense percent pieces. Corona took yours earlier during Elden Ring. Too bad. I'm getting confiscated again. Dad's got you. It's two fast ones though. Oh my god. Not even letting me take a whole penny. Look at this. No, 1 second, be back. Had to go check for the bump on my nose. I was like, wait, what was that? It was just like a little scab from I don't know what. But there was no blood under it either. That's a crit piece. Looking at the 63k berries, I'll never get through these guys. In before they start adding raids where they triple the berry entry cost. Took Kayla when there restores. Oh, the bombs. I don't know how many of those I have. I don't think I think it's been a long time since I've used one of those. Mm. 'Cause I also still have the ones that just give you, I think it's like what, 99 backup points. I haven't used any of those from the events. But it is what it is right now. There are the words to make this right. There is a mix it all tonight. All my love, all my love, all my love. I wish we could reroll the main stat. At least like once or twice. No, it's all before it's time. It'll be what was. All my love, all my love, all my love. Oh, Wind Viking. Wind Viking that's dealing damage. Since when was there a Wind Viking setup for? Oh, what? No, yeah. What? What is the Wind Viking setup? All the ones that are Star 99. Yeah, yeah. I've never used those either. Yeah, Gremlin is definitely a at least for like the backups. That's like you never run out. The only thing you run out is sanity. Sanity is in an actual backup raids that it lets you join. Because AKA they don't spawn anymore. Because people went to sleep. Not the day but the sun go rise. Not the dawn before it's time. Then what is will be what was. Because the thing is that with the berries, with the AP points, like the backup points, you just don't go through raids fast enough. There's no content in the game yet that consumes those as fast as you'll consume like the half pots while doing sandbox and Guild Wars. Notch the dawn before it's time. Soon it is will be what was. No, 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 no. Red Lady about to take 20 points to join, like minimum. It's like for her, it's the opposite, right? It takes like 20 points to get in, then like doubles if you get in when the HP is like below 10% or something. Like you want a leech? That's gonna cost you extra, buddy. Bridges burn, burn over water, away from early harbor. OBCD Gaming, thank you for the follow. Hope your week's going good. Welcome in. What's up? Nothing much. Just trying to get some decent pieces for my team, which we're struggling because we keep getting the wrong main stats on the wrong sets. I like my precious RNG goes. Sobs. Sobs and RNG. First day of vacation? Oh, that's always good. I'm assuming you're just gonna plan to. You got any like major plans for it? You're just gonna like rest, potate. I kind of wish when like there was a way you could just like dismantle raid gear to get like the crafting stuff. Because right now I think the only thing you can do with the raid gear that you don't need is just sell it for gold. Which I mean, helpful because you're gonna go through a lot of gold, but it'd also be nice if there's like an option to dismantle them to get some like crafting mats. Have to pack the house up, moving to a bigger house on the 30th. Oh, that's pretty tight. Well, I hope the move goes well. Me and my parents did a move earlier in the year. So hopefully is the new house like far or is it in the same like general area? Just bigger? I need to get her like a real crit set, like crit set pieces. They just don't want to drop. But to be honest, all I need is like an attack percent crit chest piece, and then I can just move her over to the other, using the other crit item. Well, actually, I'd probably put her on Snipper to be honest, so that way he kills the boss faster. Literally next street over, but you're going from a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom to a 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, and 600 more square feet. All nice, nice. But to be honest, like the move, like the it being such a nice little upgrade, and then like the move not being that far is a win-win all around, in my opinion. Yeah, hopefully you're able to get everything all packed up and the rest of it goes smoothly. Oh. Bye, Destroyer Rex. Hello, welcome in. It goes well. It's not going very well. We're not getting the pieces we need, like the right stats on the right things, but it's going. Just grinding. But how are you? How is your weekend going? Sorry, I am like so tired. It's like thunderstorming outside. Every time it rains, it just makes me yawn like all the time. Dude, I think it's starting to fizzle out. Thankfully. Alright, come on. Crit rate chest piece with attack. All attack percent. That's all I'm asking from you, buddy. It's going good. Grinding the heck out of this game. Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm so glad it's back. I'm so glad it's back, and it seems that for the most part, people are having a good time with it so far. Because I played the original version for a long time, and then I stopped playing it. And then when I went back, when I hit a phase of like, man, I really want to play Seven Nights again. And I went back, like, I found out that they had ended service, and then I found out that they were relaunching it with Rebirth. So I was very excited. I don't kind of like fully agree with how they handled the like global launch personally, but I'm assuming there might have been some like things that were causing issues for getting the servers and stuff all set up. New to the series, so you're learning the story so far. The story, all right. The story, from what I've heard, is pretty good. I am, unfortunately, a dirty story skipper. I won't lie. I used to know the story back when I played the original version because I actually paid attention then, but it's I don't know. Like it's that bad, and I'll watch the cutscenes because the animations for the cinematics are really nice, but like I have a hard time paying attention to stories in gacha games in general nowadays, if I'm honest. But I have heard good things about it from people who have been reading it. I remember. I wonder if they'll keep the plot twist. I remember there was like a pretty sizable plot twist in the story in the original rendition of it. Because I think they slightly changed the story a bit already. HP percent, but it's on physical thing. I really hope that like the supports they had in the future are more physical based. All of the like main healers and supports you use now are all magic characters. I think that's why they made Biscuit like a physical character. Because it becomes kind of a pain when you're farming for your support characters and then you just keep getting good stats but on the wrong weapon. Yeah, I think if I get the attack percent chest piece, I think I might be able to do stage 6. Because I think Snipper would be able to deal enough damage. The heal. Because I definitely don't have the survivability for it. I think I'd have to get Charon and Black Rose to 6-star. Which, to be fair, with Charon, I don't really mind getting him to 6-star because he's pretty useful, even outside of the raid. But I kind of don't want a 6-star Black Rose because she's going to get replaced. I want to try not to 6-star Snipper and Black Rose if I can, but I'm probably going to have to. Because I definitely need to at least get to stage 6 for the for Ox King. Evan Lena, trying to get Jave, Eileen, Colt. There are the rest of them. And last of your planned main characters. Interesting. Eileen is one of my favorite characters in this game. So I am very supportive for that. Yeah, Evan's all around. Evan Lena is like such a solid start to have. You still have to like build some of the other characters because of at the very least the way the raids work and the dungeons with how the passives are, but those are all pretty solid characters. Eileen is specifically is really good in PvP, and she can help in the story with the shock process. I forget which one she does. Jave is really good for adventure if you can get him. He's a really good farmer. Colt just stylish. Her animations are really cool. Though to be fair, like they do a really good job with the animations in the Seven Knights. But yeah, I'm hoping I get Eileen. Sorry. At some point, but I'm kind of focusing on the other more meta units to build out. And then I'll like build my faves later. Oh, I say this, but I'm like in the process of building Spike, who's not very good in the current state of the game, but he's my second favorite character, so he's gonna get built. Gonna be meta for a very long time. Yeah, Evan and Lena are both like two of your safest investments. Period. Evan's shield is really good. Evan in the original game just never had a state where you couldn't use him. The only reason you wouldn't use him was because you didn't want to, and you had like Rudy instead, or one of the other tanks. But he's such a. It's so interesting to see such a strong, like rare character in like a gacha game, especially when you consider like Seven Knights, the original one was fairly back and fairly old, which was during a time where the starting characters are usually pretty bad in most gacha games. This game will have competitions like in-person tournaments like Epic 7 and Theory Restart, for example. I don't know. Because oh shit, I think I hit next stage on accident. I did hit next stage on accident. Alright, we ball. That's fine. We'll see if we can somehow pull it off. I think I just need to use Karan's heal early. I think it'll just kind of depend because unfortunately in the original game, the PvP meta became pretty stagnant. At least when I stopped playing, which is like after they added like awakenings and stuff. And there wasn't a whole lot of flexibility, so a lot of it was just watching the same teams fight each other, which from a viewer perspective gets kind of boring after a while. But like it could if they manage it pretty well, but I don't know if it'll be like a main focus for them. From what I've understood, they're doing a slightly better job at like PvP balancing now. I heard at least in the Korean version, which to be fair is basically our version too. I heard at launch the PvP meta was extremely gross in a bad way. And they did a pretty good job of evening that out. Though they kind of almost messed it up a little bit again with Platina. But then again, that fool has always messed with the meta whenever he comes out. I think I get the shield and then the snipe. But a lot of that would just depend on how popular the game gets, especially like in the East, and whether the PvP side of things is like attracts enough attention. I think the probably the big sign of whether they would be focused on that is maybe if they added a more like I guess like maybe like a tournament event or something at some point. Because while ranks are great and all, uh, a lot of times, especially in a game like this where you can only queue like the first three skills, right, and then the rest of it's like pretty RNG. Having like a side of kind of like tournament style bracket or something, or like pseudo bracket, tends to give a bit more of a realistic take on how viable for uh kind of like a live PvP tournament setup. I think we still might be able to... Let's go! I won't be able to farm it because it's way too RNG dependent, but we at least got the crystals. If that was HP percent, that would have been huge. But it'd be interesting. It'd be cool. I didn't know Ethereum Restart had in-person tournaments. I know Epic Sevens had tournaments. Someone I follow on Twitch used to do a lot of PvP streams for Epic 7 and do like little tournaments. And I've seen some of the ads for it. But yeah. It's just because like historically speaking, Seven Knights usually has not been very PvP focused. Usually PvP is kind of there, and people that enjoy it usually tend to enjoy it because the character they like is good in that mode. One of the reasons I like PvP is because my three favorite characters are like Eileen, Spike, Karma. And then before in the previous game there was Lubu. And basically all of those characters were really good in PvP and not so great in PvE. So as an extension, that made me a PvP person. But it was definitely a mode that back then was not very they didn't do much with it. It was just there as basically it was more like an extra currency thing more than anything. So maybe this time they'll put a little bit more emphasis on it. Because it is kind of interesting. I feel like if they did it though, they might have to do maybe some sort of draft system or something. Alright, back to stage 5 where we suffer. Trying to get a crit attack percent chest piece. If I mentioned PvP in the game, anybody who's top 20 will be selected or picked to join in person tournament, prize be like 20 grand or something. That'd be cool. Yeah, it'd be sick. I'd be down for it. I'm always down for like developers adding like tournaments and stuff for people to do things. Because there's also Guild Wars. So they could also do like a group one on top of the just person versus person. So there's definitely like avenues that they could do for it. I do know that I think it's after stage 14. There is like a mode called Total War, but I'm thinking that's like an automated PvP mode. You just set up your teams and they just automatically fight other teams. So it's more like an idle thing going on the side that just gives you currency. But yeah, it really just comes down to I don't know how the devs like view PvP in this go around. I hope for me personally, I hope they put more effort into it. Because I feel like the PvP side is interesting. It's just it can also get kind of toxic. Like the meta. There used to be two characters in the original game that had a skill that would just brute force change your formation. Like you couldn't do anything about it. And it was always really funny because sometimes what it would do is it would change the formation and shuffle the characters, and sometimes your like damage dealers, which were in the back or in the front, and they're just getting punched in the face. Uh it was so funny. Cult do? I'm saying I think Cult works similar to BDAM, which if memory serves me right, what she does is she'll apply a debuff, and then with her other skill, you'll blow up the debuff, if I remember correctly. Was she not a Crusader? Or was she? I forget what faction she's a part of. Oh, the Dark Knights. Let's see. Some bomb duration explodes, detonates, dealing damage. Oh no, so she's just a straight debuff character then. So you're just constantly applying the bomb, and then the bomb will just deal the damage when it blows up. Yeah, so the way you would play her is you would play with her skill. You would want to open with her skill 1 to make sure she casts that. Because with the skill 1, what she'll do is she'll apply bomb. And then the bomb will ignore defense, which is pretty good. And then reduce the buffs. And then could paralyze. But you want to start with her skill 1, because that has a chance to apply bomb. And then you'll follow up with the skill 2, because with skill 2, she has a chance to apply more bombs, and then she'll blow up the bombs that she's already applied. And then I think her passive, no, her passive is just the camouflage and the speed one. So yeah, so you'd basically just build her as probably for PvP, because she seems more like a PvP character. Because unfortunately, she works like BDM, but with bombs. But due to the fact that she's more than 3 targets, she's not very good in Castle Rush, where BDM's decent until you get Taka. Because Beatdown kind of does the same thing, but with bleed. Like he'll apply bleed, and then his skill 2 detonates the bleed stacks. So yeah, Cold's definitely more of a PvP focus. So you basically would just build her for effect hit rate. Red gives all allies increased effect hit chance. They're gonna have increased chance for your team to apply debuff to enemies. Yeah, but in the avenue of, at least in the PvP side of things, which is where she'll shine a bit more. You can make her work in PvE, but you might run into some struggles in the fact that she has weird, one's for enemy and the other one's like all enemies. I don't know why they're not both just all enemies. Uh there's most people build in PvP the effect resistance armor piece. So even though she has the passive, you're gonna want at least the bonus set piece that has the effect hit rate, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. So I'm not telling you the wrong information. Where did I put that? Because usually in PvP in general, it's if they deal debuff, which she does, you generally give them the effect hit rate armor set to try to combat the natural effect resistance, and then whatever they build. Where are you called? Called. Yeah, yeah. For PvP, she is effect based hit rate. You can also use her in PvE, but I don't think she's like that effective. You can still use her, but you definitely have a nicer time with a different character. Around increased hit rate and also of course attack. Usually you would definitely want to do the effect hit rate because you want to make sure her bombs hit because unfortunately she has relatively low chance. And you want at least like the 3 stacks of the bombs. So that way she gets full value when she casts her skill too. But yeah. Yeah, it seems that that's exactly how you would build her. It would be you get the effect hit rate armor pieces and or set pieces, and then you do all attack percent, or and you can even get more effect hit rate on the weapons too, but probably all attack percent, and maybe one of them being effect hit rate was probably decent because it's pretty low. You could make a team where you could pair her with what is it? I think Yu Shin. Does Yu Shin give? Okay, she'll go with that. You can pair her and Eileen together because Eileen will lock down with the CC, which would give Colt like all the time she needs to do her stuff. I forget what Eileen's passive does. Physical boost, which would be good with Colt. Because you have to have Spike who also gives, but I don't remember, I don't think it's stacks. Oh wait, no, he's the resist boost. He's actually still good in general. Playing for 2 hours, bro. I played this game for like 7 hours. I thought there was one more character that also did it. That gave effect hit rate to the team. But yeah, her and Eileen would pair together really well. Because she deals physical damage. She's a physical damage character. And then with Heaven's Wrath, with Eileen, she'll shock the targets, which makes them not able to do anything, and they'll take 40% bonus damage. Eileen's just really good in PvP in general too. And then so like you would definitely want to pair Eileen and Colt together because they synergize really well off of each other. Evan would be good for the tankiness there. Lena would also buff more damage and bring the defense down. So that's a pretty solid team there. I don't know what would be like a really decent little fifth the fifth slot's probably like flexible. You could probably put another debuff character in there. Maybe one CC. You could either do like Spike, get him to freeze the whole team, or do Nia to get him to also shock more. Each thread and you get Jave, Eileen, and Colt. complete your main team. They're definitely gonna be pretty spoopy. Some of the It'll probably definitely beat like most of the teams. I could probably that team could, especially if it's like geared out. I could see it definitely getting you probably upper, maybe like. Like I guess it kind of depends on how serious most of the people are when building their teams, but it could probably decently. I don't know if it'd get you into the Masters territory, to be honest, because some of the actual meta PvP teams are kind of annoying to deal with, and I don't know if like Alt Eileen J would have enough answers for them, because Rudy, Platina, like there's a lot of like really good PvP characters that either bring some sort of cleanse or they just have high innate resistances that makes landing debuffs kind of rough. But a lot of times it just comes down to gear. Because the most important things is as long as you have plenty of effect hit rate and speed, you should be able to at least like outspeed and shut down a lot of people on the climb. And then in PvE in general, especially in story mode, with Jave in particular, having Eileen and Jade, you can use Eileen to lock down a wave, especially a boss fight, and then have Jave kind of just have at them. Because he's really solid for getting through adventure if you don't have Teo. You can also build Jave to be kind of tanky in PvP because since he has built-in counters, every time he gets hit, he'll just be punching back. All attack and defense. Not very good. Sedge. But yeah, all in all, like I'd say it's pretty solid. You could definitely get pretty deep into it. I think with when you get towards Nightmare, you're probably gonna have to expand it a little bit because in Nightmare you'll need like 2 teams, if I remember correctly, to get through it. It won't be like the normal story where you'll be able to use like one team to clear every stage. But I think by then they'll probably add like other characters that would interest you. They do a really good job of character designs and kits and stuff. And they've already shown that they're willing to add characters that didn't exist in the original game because Biscuit, I'm pretty sure, was not in the original game, and I don't think Daisy was either, and both of those got added recently. Beautiful waifu with the guns, that's Black Rose. She's an R character who you'll need for Ox King unless you have Daisy. There's also I don't know if you've seen Ruri. Ruri has a sniper rifle. Like one of the 50 cal sniper rifles. Yeah, this one's Black Rose. Main damage dealer for Ox King? Yes and no. Snipper is the main damage dealer for Ox King if you don't own Espada. Espada is his huge upgrade. She's much better than he is. But Snipper is who you use if you don't have her. Because she basically has the same built-in mechanic that he does, where they both have a passive. They gain stacks when things die to give themselves buffs. So in Snipper's case, it's just physical damage. In Espada's case, she gains magic damage and crit rate. And then you use your skill 1, right, to deal the damage, and you consume it on skill 2. But Espada's technically the main damage dealer for Ox King. She's designed for him. And then you'll pair her with Daisy instead of Black Rose. Because Daisy will cover Black Rose's job of petrify immunity and then killing the little guys that get summoned while also buffing your magic damage. And then there's Ruri. I think those are like these are all the Cult Ruri, Black Rose, and Snipper and Espada, I think, are like the three gun users. Espada's kind of like a gunblade, like a weird pistol gunblade, but Ruri's really good for Castle Rush. She's like your main damage dealer for half of the Castle Rush castles. I'd say Seven Knights could be a pro or a con depending on like how you view it, but it's one of those gotcha games where you kind of build wide rather than tall. So you kind of tend to build multiple characters because they fulfill multiple different niches. How strong Chris is? He's generally all of the Seven Knights. I think like out of all the Seven Knights, Spike's probably like the weakest one, just because of how the meta works. Because Spike was more PvP focused, and the current meta for the PvP, he just doesn't fit in it. But aside from him, the rest of them are pretty good. Spike is in the or Chris is in the same vein as Colt. You build him for effect hit rate because he has the death debuff. But he's very potent for PvP, and he's pretty good in PvE. Dave's definitely better as a whole for PvE, but Chris, there's a whole like the status team. He's kind of one of the cornerstones for the status teams. Or at least he used to be. I'd have to double check. I know the PvP's meta's like shifted a little bit since I started playing on the Korean version like a month or so ago. Let's see. I think he's still like a cornerstone for the. Yeah, no, he's still a cornerstone for the debuff team. You can use him as like the main source of murdering everything, or have him as support to just toss out his death debuff. Yeah, Chris is pretty solid. Like you can't really go wrong with any of the Seven Knights. At the very least, if you're at least like content with just running your team and being fine. If you want to be a bit more meta with it, the shifting will have to be a bit because like Chris's main team is a lot just like running tanky units plus Chris. Almost clicked next stage on accident. Usually I run like a tanky team setup because I usually focus around playing Karma for my PvP teams. And I'm thinking Lu Bu in the original was also like more towards the tank setup. Kills all allies after killing an enemy. Yeah. Yeah, he's really good for if you can get his death procs to go off and he can kill things. He's definitely a bit of a menace in PvP. You can't really go wrong with him. Chris, Dellins, Rudy, Eileen. Those are all really good Seven Knights for PvP, especially. So you'll never really go wrong on any, like whether PvP, like in the arena, Guild Wars, solid units all around. Uh, Jave is also useful in PvP, but he's definitely more of a PvE unit, but he is used in a lot of the tank comps early on. Call you want gear the speed on it. Yeah, you'll want speed for sure. You'll want Eileen to be your fastest person. Like generally for the gearing, it'll be Eileen and Cult would be really similar. You'll want effect hit rate on them and then as much like speed on every piece for the substats. Because you want them to both be really fast. But you would definitely want Eileen to go first for the shock, and then followed up with the two skills from Cult would be like the general loop for Arena. And then you'd have just Jave as a backup for doing cleanup for whatever's left. Oh, that could have been defense percent. That would have been so good. Yeah, the one main downside though is that like the gear that you want comes from what's kind of considered the hardest raid in the game because it deals a lot of damage and the gearing requirements are kind of stringent if you don't want to if you want to run like the actual fully optimum setup for farming. Good old Iron Devour. Attack rate, speed, all attack, crit rate, Riley and Cult. Uh, you don't really. The crit rate's like not like huge. The main hit would be you want the effect hit rate set piece, and then after that, Cult I think would want all attack percent, and then Eileen I think would just care about getting as much effect hit rate as possible because you want her to land her shock on basically the whole team if she can. And then and that's for the main stat, and then for substat like speed is like king, and then yeah more attack after more attack and hit rate on the substats also for both of them. It's kind of like what you're aiming for. As long as you get like attack percent or effect hit rate main stat with a speed substat, it's like usable. It's a usable piece for them. You could reroll a stat and lock the stats we want for our characters rerolling it. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of systems that they carried over from the first game that I'm hoping they have plans of altering. Stat rerolling would be nice for gear. It'd be pretty simple too. They could just allow it for like if they wanted to kind of gate it a little bit, they could just make it where there's a material you get from dismantling raid gear that you can then use to reroll a piece of raid gear you want. At the very least, if we could reroll the substats would be nice. They really need to remove the whole spending gold to change equipment on a character. That's such an outdated mechanic that's just I don't even know why they brought it into the rebirth. I don't even know why they didn't just remove it when they did, because they did. There's an event going on, quotations are an event that started like 2 months ago that doesn't have a definite end period, where they made it 70% cheaper to remove gear, and it's like you should have just taken it out because nobody likes it and doesn't serve a purpose. Because there's plenty of gold sinks in the game. Why is gold required removing or changing gear? Because unfortunately, Seven Knights was launched in a time period where that was standard for most gacha games, and they kind of just brought that forward instead of altering it. To be fair, I don't know what their plans for it is because I don't know if they've said anything on the Korean side. They haven't said anything on the global side. But the fact that they already kind of introduced this whole 70% reduced cost thing makes me think that maybe they might remove it in the future. But at this point, it's just like copium. Realistically, for at least like Colt and Eileen specifically, you wouldn't really have to worry too much about it because their effect hit rate pieces would work for them in PvP too, for clearing like story and stuff. The only real issue you would have would be, for instance, Jave. Jave wants different pieces of gear depending on if you're using him in PvE or PvP. Same thing with well, Evan, I think. No, yeah, I think Evan also wants different armor depending on if you're using him in PvE or PvP. Yeah, it's one of the main negative points of the game that a lot of A lot of returnees that I'd known about that came back were just like, why is it still here? I remember there was a Korean content creator who I used to watch where I stumbled across like it wasn't his video specific. I think someone took like a snippet of it and it was him being annoyed that the gold for removing equipment thing was still existed. Yeah, it's a very questionable decision. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe they'll be willing to see the error of their ways. Yeah, the other thing is I don't know how vocal. I don't. It's because Seven Knights in the original one they were kind of were and kind of weren't vocal on what they planned on doing. It was kind of like inconsistent. Like for instance, we know there's supposed to be a new like exploration adventure PvE mode thing that has all the four lords of old as bosses. We don't know anything else besides that. I think it probably is supposed to replace the like Destroyer Gaze had a special version in the original version where he got really strong armor pieces and you got an extra item that let you get a special skin. I don't know if they'll bring that back. I'm just assuming that's what they'll do with that. I don't actually know that's what it is, but we don't know much besides that. I don't know if they've been vocal on the Korean side for like what other things they want to do. Cause like for instance, we know Beedam, Sylvesta, and Bellica are due for reworks. We have no idea when. People were assuming that it would be for the global launch, that maybe we would get that. Ooh, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Crit damage, crit set. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, so and we don't even know what the changes would be, so we don't know if the changes would actually end up making them better or not. But we'll just really it's just a case of like just wait and see. Sleepy, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Outdated mechanic. Yeah, it's pretty annoying that they brought that back. I really wish they hadn't. Still driving around defense, effect resistance, speed, block rate with the right gear. Mm. Yeah, that's pretty solid. Yeah, cause yeah, that's what I was told. That's what people I know who played Epic Sevens are, and like people on the Reddits were just like, that's not even a thing in Epic Seven anymore. Oh crap, I was paying attention. Reading chat. Rip. Yeah, so to be honest, the fact that they did the 70% quote unquote event makes me think that they're probably angling towards removing it. It's just it might not be an easy thing to detangle from the code. But we'll see. Sometimes sometimes gotcha developers kind of get stuck in their own ways. I already cleared this? Yeah, I've cleared up to stage 6. It's just I can't reliably farm stage 6 because I'm missing actual pieces for Evans and Snippers to deal enough damage. So I'm just farming stage 5 and praying. You can, but then I can't do my Ruby farming at the same time. Pretty sure. Because at least like you can't do it in PvP. So I usually Ruby farm while I'm doing this, which my speaking of mine just finished. Yeah. Yeah, normally if I was doing it off stream and chilling, then yeah, I would just set this to repeat and then do like Ruby farming. I'll just alternate between the two. Oh, particularly mine. I kind of wish you could prioritize it just in general, or at least like more than 3 skills for the raid, but shrugs is what it is. I know move goes from being charger moving, gear changing gear. Not the same order they did in the past. Yeah, the other weird thing about it is they've specified that they're going to add a system for like setting like a preset item system or something so that you can swap between like gear between characters and stuff. And it's like the system makes no sense with it costing gold. Oh, that's a Lucy piece if I've ever seen one. Touch raids unless I'm going to bed and set it to auto. I'm like the opposite. I don't mind doing the raids. That's actually a really good Lucy piece though. That being all attacks at a more defense percent sucks, but the rest of it's fine. Yeah, that's why I think that they might they might take it off because since it's in like an indefinite, it's like a well it's there until it's not kind of deal. I have a feeling that they're just like they're probably like I think they're probably still gauging how people feel about it even with the reduced cost, which is still not reduced enough. Because it gets expensive. Like it gets really expensive once you start getting like 6-star equipments that are like fully enhanced. That stuff sucks to unequip. I think when I think it costs like a couple 100,000 gold to unequip like a full set of gear when it's that high up. Like it's pretty bad. Say until further notice, and it's a sign. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a pretty like I feel like that change was just because they might be planning to do just like a bit of a revamp for the gear, and they wanted to do it all at once. Decent decisions with this iteration. People hating on it because Netmarble, but the game is honestly a solid background gotcha game for sure. Yeah, Seven Knights has always I've always said that it's a really, really good like at the very least a really good background game. I forgot to cue that one up. Because you can automate so much of it. Like you can technically automate like all of it. But it's just such a solid game. How is the game? I like it. But I'm also biased because I played the original version, so I very much enjoy this game. Uh but Danger Man and Uff welcome in. What do you think of the game? See it lasting here? Will it not last that long? I mean, that's kind of a tricky question because it kind of comes down to the developers. The original Seven Knights lasted a long time. Let's see. Yeah, the original Seven Knights lasted in launched in 2015 and then shut down in like 2023. So if they can follow the same formula, the game should be lasting at least like I'd say 2, 3, 4 years, more than likely. Because it's a really good gotcha game that you can just play while doing other things, which those kinds of gotcha games give longevity, but it also still has content that you can actively partake in, such as Castle Rush, Guild Wars, doing raids, you can manual them, like I do, instead of just like full autoing. Or if you want to be efficient, right, and you full auto one thing and manual something else. So it's definitely has the recipes of being a game that'll last a while. Its actual popularity is gonna be highly dependent on how people feel about it compared to whatever gotcha games come out. Because there's a lot of like I guess competition for your time coming out, especially in October. There's a lot of gotcha games coming out in October. Just a pack that lets you do 360 auto battles. Honestly, valid purchase. Yeah, I think my auto battles right now are I don't remember how much it is at this level. That's a decent amount. That's enough for me. Adding more new characters to the game. Yeah. Come for anniversary as a setup. Yeah, when it comes to like longevity for it's definitely not going to be because of lack of characters. They have a plenty backlog of characters to re-release into the game, and then they have they've the new characters they've been dropping out have been pretty good designs and pretty nice kits. So it's definitely not going to be because of designs that the game doesn't keep going. It's going to be whatever they choose to do with PvE and the PvP. All right, I keep forgetting to do that. I get like in a loop, and then I forget to do that. Thank you for the reminder. Awakening and Myth was like the next versions past like 6 starring that they added in the original version. It was like another way to rank up your character to an even stronger version. Oh, 5%. And which came with new costumes for the character, new came with a third ability, like stuff like that. Like it added more than just stats, raw stats to the character, which was really good. Oh wait, right, I haven't finished. Basically, higher stars. You can think of it like that. Yeah, higher stars gives you an extra skill, increases, bumps up your numbers, changes some of the passives for some of the characters. Some characters, the awakening literally just completely changed the character. So it kind of just depends. Can I please get a defense percent 5-star chest? No, actually, no. We still need the crit rate attack percent chest piece. Whale for his espada? I wish. Espada's probably like my favorite regular unit, but I do not have the budget to be whaling on anything. To be honest, the only reason Snipper is lacking is because his gear sucks. I haven't been able to get the crit rate chest piece to put on him. First 10 pull was Shayna Spada. I'm jealous. My first 10 pull was not good. We don't talk about my first 10 pull. Okay, so it's not just me. Okay, I was actually kind of curious if it was like my computer. Yeah, I've noticed that. There's a very big inconsistency for how responsive it is. There's definitely been a couple times I've missed a skill lineup because I'm trying to change something in response to something, and then it just doesn't pick it up, and then I just goes to shit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I 100% agree with that. I don't know what's the issue because when I was playing the Korean client on LD player for emulator, uh, the response I didn't really have an issue with the responsiveness. So I don't know what they have on their PC setup that causes a bit of a like a lag sometimes when you're trying to like fast swap things. Give your set a bath, no worries. Welcome back. I'm still here just vibing, bashing my head against the Ox King for a little bit more. I'll probably try to start doing Infinite Tower. I haven't done a whole lot of Infinite Tower since I started, and now I have Teo. Bro, over 100 pulls on his banner, and I didn't get Teo off of his banner at all. And then on the 100 pulls to unlock the wish list for the regular summons, I got Teo. I was like, well, at least we got him. We can play the game now. Yeah. I mean, in a way, it kind of works out because I got past 100 on his banner, so I'm guaranteed Teo on the on his banner specifically for the next legendary. So I'm just gonna keep going that to at least get him Transcendent 1. But it was a bit of a like, really? Like, really? Teo on wish list also. Nice. Yeah, he has rate up on the regular. I didn't know that, but he also has rate up on the regular banner. So you definitely want him on wish listed on that for a while. Satan. Hello. He does, yeah. At least when I looked at the wish list, when I went to go pick him, he has like a rate up uh flag on top of his name, which is probably why he showed up on the 100 pulls. Yeah, like right now is like a good time to grind any like normal tickets and every way you can get them to toss it. Because getting like T2 Teo or even T6 if you somehow luck shit it out would be huge. Double check that I wasn't just seeing things last night. Yeah, rate up. I don't know how much the rate up is, but generally means that if it rolls legendary plus, you probably have a higher chance of getting him over the other one. I have 9 more keys. Might have to buy some of the 80 ones. Oh, 10 pull time. Hold up. Hold up. This is the one. I feel it. Going big. Am I winning? I don't know if I'm winning. I'm suffering, bro. I can't get the items. No, that's an R. Cries. And it's Sarah. It's not even Evan. Brother. This game hates me. I'm losing. I'm big losing. The person besides Snipper, show you my whole team in a second. This is his. We have Evan, Rachel. I didn't mean to swap him. Oh, and now I just removed him. Yeah, so Evans, Rachel's, Black Rose, and Karan, and the Snipper. These two are kind of mandatory for the red. Black Rose is mandatory if you don't have Daisy. So you'll be using her regardless. So you got Daisy. I'm just using that because weakness hit. I don't even think there's a reason to replace Rachel until you get Biscuit in this red, just because of the weakness hit. What's the stat on this? Oh, that's block rate anyway. What am I doing? I'm trolling. Where's that crit rate? No. Yes. Oh, but well, I'm trading 11.7 for 15. That's worth. And a higher star weapon. I don't even have a flat attack one, do I? Nope. I guess we'll give him block rate, I guess. Wait, which one has like offensive substats? That's what we'll give him. That has all attack percent. That's good enough. You got this. I wish. Don't have Black Rose or the other one. All right. For Charon, it's really easy because you just need to clear stage 2 for the Ox King, and they'll give you Charon for free from the event going on. And it's really easy to clear stage 2. For Black Rose, all you need to do is come down here to the workshop, and if you go to crafting, once a week you can freely craft. Well, technically anybody, or once a week you can freely craft like any of the rare characters, and then once a month you can do the legendary characters. But that's something for like later on. Don't worry about that for now because that's expensive. But you can come down here and look for Black Rose, and which I think I don't know, I haven't made her yet. And you can make it here, or if you hadn't used it already, which only takes 4 3-star units, which you're going to be doing fodder anyway. So, which actually speaking of, so I can just get Transcendence too. And you can do that for all of the rare characters every week. It's a really good way to, it's probably one of the really big ways to get a lot of the rare characters you need for raids early on and for content in general. And then if you haven't used it yet, one of the rewards was a rare hero selector ticket, and you could pick her from that too. If you wanted. But yeah, in the event tabs for the event, under there's a raid breakthrough event. Every single stage 2, difficulty 2 beat gets you one of the support characters. So like you'll get a Yui for Destroyer, you'll get Charon for Ox King, and then you'll get Victoria for Iron Devourer. Very happy with how they changed how rubies in this game. Feels way more. Yeah, I'm thinking it's like double. Like even just the amount you get of rubies for hitting level 30 is double. Because I think it used to be like what 10 rupee per. But it's because his name is literally just Karen with an O. So instead of Karen, I'm saying Charon. That's not. It's literally just spelled exactly the same, just a different letter. So it sounds pretty similar. Or 500? I don't remember. It's been so long since I played. But even then, I feel like because like the costume prices, in my opinion, don't look too different. Like they seemed pretty similar, and like ruby pricing. So maybe that's why I didn't think it was like too big of a deal. Also, can we be thankful that the costumes don't have stats anymore? Yes, yes, there is actually. Karen is the first healer you get for free from the story, and then Charon is the healer you get from clearing stage 2. That is indeed a fact. Gonna buy a Rachel skin. Which one? The summer one? The summer one that I'm annoyed about that they gave out for free on the Korean version, but we don't get because we missed that event. Yeah. Rachel's summer skin was a free event on the Korean version. Yeah, I hate that so much. That's why I think that maybe there's some sort of like issue with setting up the servers or something that caused them to have to do it this way because it just doesn't make any sense. We missed all the previous story events. We've missed like I think it's what 4 story events. That's a crap ton of resources we missed out on. That honestly, even with the freebies, haven't really recovered. Like it's not even close. Missed out on free skins. Like oh, it's too slow. He healed that. It's fine. Like it's I'm not too happy personally. Again, that was on the book. I could use that on you. I used to have content already unlocked, but weird for launch. I mean, like the biggest weird part, right, is like, yeah, it's great that we have the content unlocked, but Castle Rush you can't do until your guild is level 5, and Guild Wars we can't join mid-season, and we can't use the 7 nights chest until next month because we started in the middle of the month. So none of the good features that got added post-launch we can take advantage of anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like you just like there was literally zero reason aside from the fact that maybe they wanted to do a global release but couldn't because of some sort of limitation that we don't know about. Or what? Like cuz literally we gained like zero benefit at all from the way they handled this. Which is why like cuz it's like it's just I had such a soapbox moment about it cuz the other problem is also the banners. Because like for instance, we missed out on the biscuit focus banner. Like yeah, there's the wish list, but the wish list biscuit's still fighting like 4 other legendary characters, and she's meta for all the raids. Well, all the raids and PvE content, period. And she's like decent in like Castle Rush and Guild Wars. But if they run her a focus banner like they did Teo, well, they're gonna run her next to all the new characters. So you now have to figure out if one of the new characters is meta, if you're gonna pull for that, or you're gonna pull on the biscuit banner, who's also meta. Like it's such a bad system for us. Yeah, Clahan I've heard is like really, really strong too. Like I've heard he's a really good farmer. And he's probably still pretty I don't know how potent he is. He used to be in the original, I remember he was a menace in PvP. But yeah, I've heard like good things about him too. It's just that he's in the current banner is like kind of safe, like the current distribution, right? Because Tail just outclasses him in all regards. But and we get Miho for free from the story, and she's kind of mostly a Castle Rush character. But like, ugh, I just, mm, I am, I'm not happy. I was by himself and he did 50. All right, yeah, no, he's still a menace. Yeah, because that piercing damage is nothing to scoff about. That dude. Oh man, he was such a menace. I remember in uh in the original, he was basically 1v5ing the whole thing. Like, it was so gross. You just couldn't kill him, and he would just kill your whole team. Which was hilarious. Crit damage. Oh yeah, yeah. And with how rare, at least for the legendary ones, are, it's yeah, it kind of sucks. At the very least, at the minimum, if they were gonna make it RNG, they should have gotten rid of the enhancing the normal attack. They should have just had the normal attack be that value and then just made it so that the skills will enhance well the skills and not your normal attack. You get them nearly weekly from arena at least, but still, yeah. And even then, that's still more of a thing of if you do arena often and get decently up there to get enough stuff. The one nice thing is the adventure growth one. I want to say it has some of the legendary crystals in there. And then at least in the story event we get the one. But it's still definitely a bit of a slog to get everything. I will say the one good thing is that more often than not, it's like for instance, Teo's only decent skill enhancement that I would say is actually matters is his passive because it gives him like almost a 40% physical damage buff when he dies, which is huge. But like the rest of it's just like damage percent numbers up on his skills 1 and 2 because his T6 is so powerful. So at like the current stage of the game, you're just better off worrying about getting him ultimate enhanced than getting him 4 pieces of crit rate gear that's really good. But some of the other ones are definitely crazy. I think doesn't Biscuits like buff skill get stupidly good with the crystal enhance? Not that it's not already stupidly good to begin with. Damage 40, weakness boost 50. That's yeah, that's ridiculous. That's so insane. That's such a strong enhancement. I think Lena's is another one that also she like her 2 skills just get even more gross when she gets the enhancements done. Yeah, it is like to be honest, I think I would have rather had a system where uh maybe it costs like 2 crystals or something, but you can choose which one you want to enhance. But shrugs. Because like in the long run it would well to be honest, in the long run it would probably still average out cheaper because there's plenty of characters where you only really care about one skill getting enhanced. Like for instance, Evan, I had to throw 3 crystals at him to get his shield enhanced, which is the only skill you really care about getting enhanced. Why are you HP%? Why are you not defense percent? You bum. Funny where those are. I have 4 resets in like 2.5 hours. Probably do another 4 Ox Kings and then see how far we can get into Infinite Tower shenanigans. Buffs all allies defense. Yeah, I mean like defense buff is good, but it's also like if you get like his shield enhanced first, I just you're just worth stopping instead of like RNG rolling and then like using more on like Yui. Because like Yui is definitely one where you want like basically everything she has enhanced. Her passive enhance makes her heal herself when she uses a skill. Her skill enhances, well, she revives with an extra, like she revives targets with an extra 10% HP. Her heal, I think, heals for an extra like 10% HP. I think her, I think her auto one makes it so she has a higher chance of applying the magic attack down, which is huge. How did you say we get Charon? You can just clear Ox King stage 2, which should be doable with just about everything. Yeah, the free way to do it is where you don't have to use resources would be clear the stage 2 of Ox King. The other way to do it would be you can go to the workshop and then you can craft him by using 4 3-star characters to buy him from the crafting workshop. They'll make sure that you've leveled them to 30 first so you get their rubies. Also heals when enemies. Oh my god. Such a disgusting. Like, you have Black Rose from the workshop? Alright. Perfect. Then yeah, you should just be able to clear Ox King stage 2. It might be usable. I don't really know. You really want the defense one, but maybe I'll think about it. The trick to remember with the Ox King is that you want to use Black Rose's skill 2, like as your first skill, because it should, as long as you have her like at least level 30 and with some at least attack boost gear, she should one-shot the little dudes in both stage 1 and 2 and make the rest of that easier. But that's usually the cycle you'll do throughout all the stages is you open with her skill 2, so she wipes out the little boys so they're not in the way. I'm going for Teo, but honestly kind of want to yoink Claw. To be honest, I feel like with the fact that he has a rate up on the wish list, and the fact that technically next month we should get access to the 7 Knights chest, I wouldn't really say it's a bad idea, but on the flip side, that's also an argument against just waiting. Like, I'm probably gonna use the chessboard to get Muay Thai Bro, honestly. Probably not first, though. I think I'll probably go for probably Dylan first. I either go for Dylan or I'll go for like T2 Teo, depending on if I can get Teo from like the T2 from pulls. Can't be trusted with rubies every time you get 1k you summon. Yeah, I'm doing that too, but literally just because I wanted to try to get Teo. Once I get Teo's like first transcendence, I'm just gonna save up for whatever the next banners are. I am patiently, not patiently, waiting for Lu Bu to get added to the game again. I want to bring back my OG PvP team, which the cornerstones was Lu Bu and Karma. I think it was like I used Lu Bu, Karma, and then I used Spike just because I like Spike, and then I forget who the other two were that I had on the team. That's been so long. HP percent. Why can't you be on a? Actually, no, I don't even want you on a block thing. If you're HP percent on a block rate thing with a book, I would accept you. Actually, no, I'd even accept this one because that would be fine for. Biscuit. Dancing in the mirror. I will say though, them doing the like PvP event at the with the global launch was actually a really smart move though. Which makes me wonder if that's them kind of like showing that they want to do more PvP focus this time around. But then again, it's literally just run it 10 times. Like run it every day. So like I think like what is it, 140? No. I think it is the 200. I don't remember the number for the max. Gear is incredibly painful. True. That's the real pain for Seven Nights. They give you so many like once you get into like a rhythm and farming rubies, especially once you get into like the higher stages, getting characters isn't that big of a deal, but getting gear for the characters is oh rough. Of course, it's flat defense. Yoink. Are we getting any rare heroes? No, I got Jupy randomly from one of my Ruby farmings. I was like, oh, nice. Even though I really don't want to invest in Jupy at all whatsoever. I hate Jupy. I am a Jupy hater, I'm not gonna lie. Look at all of these good main stat weapons that we can't use. Oy, oy, oy. Remember using Jupy, bro? I don't know. I hate Jupy. I've hated Jupy since day one. Other people are like, she's great. I'm like, get her out of my team. I go to the library codex. I really wish you could access that library codex, like, not from the library. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's one of the weird things that I don't know why they do that. They show you the 4-star. If you click like the bottom dude, like the actual icon that they have on it. The one that actually made me realize that was Teo. Because Teo's very obvious when he's not 6-starred because his 4-star version has red hair. And I was just like, wait, why is his hair red? And then I realized that was what was happening. I don't know why they decided to do that. Even Limbus Company at least shows you them at up tie 4. You can like scale them back and forth, but at least shows you what like the max potential of the character is when you're trying to decide what to grab. Some of these are still like serviceable. I get a character and I haven't gotten like decent raid pieces. T2 he gets all damage immunity on skill. At T2? What the? Oh, yeah, glad to see they wanted him to be a menace again. I was like, his kit sounds extremely similar to his old kit. I think the biggest difference, I think he hits more targets now. I think one of his skills didn't hit like everybody before. Money. I gotta do this for the armor. 20 away from guaranteed pity, so I'm just gonna yoink them. Honestly, still a solid pick. The HP conditions back down on his skills. I think I think he had the like below 50% one. I don't remember the above 50% one. Let's see, there has to be a wiki with his like old stats on it. But I also could be wrong, because I remember some of the characters had the weird like conditional things. Oh no, yeah, no, he was just straight damage back then. But yeah, but he had less targets also. So back then his like skill 2 used to be single target, but would just deal a crap ton of damage. And then his skill 1 was just 3 targets. Yeah, so they did shift him a bit. They gave him HP conditionals and then they let him hit everybody and call it good. Pa. So I'm only half crazy. I remember him having like not being able to hit a whole team of people before, which was kind of what slightly sort of not really made him balanced. Ah, we don't need the damage reduction on it. Womp, womp, womp. Your frustration. It feels so weird though to like be doing the raids and be basically ignoring the dragon because this gear is borderline just not used on like anything. Like, there's a couple characters that he use when he wants, but for the most part, you just don't care. Like, it feels so weird because in the first game, he was kind of like the most important red. I said, this is just poison. Oh, bleed. Bleed and dodgy people. I do like that they're at least like doing some changes to the kits and stuff, and not just copy pasting all the characters ever. Which is why I'm really hoping that Lubu has like a real kit when he comes out this time, and not just a teehee. He gets to mess your formation up. I overestimated their strength. Oh, Yui, I choose you. I was always debating whether to put Ace back on the team for his debuff removal. Or buff removal, not debuff removal. Wish that fucker removed the debuff. I need to redo the stuff. I don't need the shield at this point. Just Oh, tail. You so busted. Oh, that's also funny. Speaking of like kind of like I just remembered about like when we were talking about the skins earlier. If anybody wanted the gender bent Teo skin, you can't get that skin either. Cause that was part of like that was a previous event. Because it's not one of the skins that you can just buy for rubies. That one's got like a different system for it. Do you even have an AoE magic? Oh, I do, but she's not built at all. It's Miho. I might be able to scrounge some gear together so she can at least like remove the buffs from these guys. Yeah, she's also magic damage. She just might straight out just murder them. Ah, Bane. Yeah, Bane with the assassin chicks. And so I might just give her. To be fair, I do want to build her because Miho's like actually really solid for Castle Rush. And she has Tiger. Can't really go wrong with either of those. Have her build suggestions. Yeah, I don't think they do. I'm assuming she just wants to be damage. Like just crit rate, slap the crap out of things. Sobs looking at my boy Spike not having a single double S rank on anything. Look at the Tiger. Such a cool character design. I'm telling you, this game is definitely not gonna flop because of characters. They have such good character designs. Which one is the? Is this one? Oh, which means I forget that. Right, I need to save the thing for Bane actually. Because Bane has that stupid. He has the same thing Teo has. Actually, we can kill Bane before. No, I was gonna say if we can kill Bane before she casts, then it won't be like that big of a deal. One of them had killed the. Oh, rest in peace, Miha. She has like no HP. Because he has like no, like her gear is like non-existent. Darn, I wanted to stun him. I should have. I was being greedy. I should have just used Tail skill too. Yeah, so he's gonna cast his silence. I should have brought something with silence immunity. Oh, Miho did her job, so that's fine. Because I think the only thing. Is it the monk? No, the monk doesn't have silence immunity. It's the other one, right? The punchy boy. Yeah, no, he's just the taunt. But punchy boy, wherever I put him. He's the silence immunity one, yeah. Yeah, but then he doesn't have a debuff rip, unfortunately. Oh, she also gives team-wide weakness hit damage boost. It's not weakness hit chance, but it's still pretty solid. Yeah, her kit's like, yeah, definitely better than I was expecting. especially for being a freebie character. Alright, we'll see if we can get through a couple more floors and then go from there. I think these guys are all bleed now. Oh, Carol. I think she still might be strong enough to. Oh, no, she's close now. I was hoping that she'd still be marginally strong enough to one tap them, one shop them. No, one tap the troll dudes, because she's got like we have DPS set at home items on. Because I gave all of her stuff to Teo. So if she crits, she still crits pretty hard. Yeah, I remember that guy reses. I do find it ironic that like Charon is also one of the highest damage dealing healers because his heal scales off of attack. So you just give him a bunch of attack percent. And then he heals for a lot, and then he like slaps for a decent number. Dude. Oh, but she's paralysis. Yeah, we're gonna take Victoria instead. I really don't want to deal with paralysis. Moving one raid set between all your raid heroes and it's eating money. Yeah, no, I really don't suggest doing that. Like, as much as I would love to be able to do that, like, unless they remove the cost, it's cheaper to just have, like, to just make entire different sets. Honestly, that's the irony, is that it's cheaper to just do that in the long term. Someone had came in yesterday and they were talking about how they were like running out of money, and I think it was because of the same thing. That's like the that's like one of the real. I think like one of the only two ways you can eat through like more gold than you can make while ruby farming, especially early on, is if you keep swapping gear or if you try to enhance your pets. Okay, these guys don't. So back to Druid, bro. Yeah, yeah. Like I know it's not. It's like it's not cheap, but it's like it's also like kind of like a one-time thing at least. Because there's just so many times you're gonna be swapping gear. Because even if you aren't just like blind farming, that's at least what 3 times you're gonna be swapping. Because at least doing your daily threes. If you're not like me and ignoring Iron Devourer's existence until later. Which to be fair, I have actually decent pieces for UE, so I need to start actually doing Iron Devourer again. I still hate Iron Devourer. I hate that the 2 side heads on Iron Devourer are targetable. And in some cases, you could argue it's like, oh, but that gives Asura like a reason to exist. I'm like, Chris's Castle Rush gives Asura a reason to exist. Iron Devourer needs to not give her a reason to exist. Not to mention, when you have enough weakness hit rate on Pascal anyway, you don't run Asura. I guess Paralysis. Paralysis and Petrify. I think we're just gonna run the risk of eating the Petrify. But there's only one Cleo. Yeah, weakness hit rate has a bonus effect of it'll, when it procs, it'll target the lowest HP target available. And if you pay attention to Iron Devourer's like health bar, he always is missing like a chunk of the health bar, so he has less HP than his side heads do. That's why the trick is when you're doing it early, you give Asura a weakness hit chance on her block rate gear. So that way she should have a really high chance of landing her focus target on the middle head. And then once Pascal gets enough like weakness hit from substats, plus you also need Biscuit, he'll just always target the middle head. Because he'll have like basically 100% weakness hit chance. Wondering why I had to reset so many times? Yeah. To be fair, I think that's a this version thing. I don't think Seven Knights 1 had something like that. But I also think Asura like skill built in had something like that, which is why you just always used her. But yeah, until you get to that point, you're in reset city. I had to reset Iron Devourer like I think 12 times the other day. Like through doing the 3 dailies. I was like, bro, that's just 12 keys just gone. 12 keys that I need. Nice. Petrify the people that didn't matter. Oh wait, I think that might be enough for a temple on a regular banner. Yep. Nice. Alright. We'll do this temple, see what we don't get. And then I will wrap up because I need to go prep for dinner. Evans? Well, we at least got a Evan and then fodder. I still need 3 more Evans and then I can have Transcendent 6 Evan. We'll be winning. I forget what her Transcendence does. I don't think it's anything like super important though. Yeah, my Korea account for Evan is like, I don't even know what was happening there. I'd have Evan on my wish list, and then I'd get like every other 10 pull, I'd get like 3 rare characters, and it'd just be like 3 Evans. I like T6 to Evan in like 2.5 days of just doing all the pulls from the free stuff you get. That's my boy right there. He'll get built eventually. He's my guilty pleasure. He's not really good at the moment, but I don't care. I wish they would like scale up his numbers a bit. I think if they scale up his max HP numbers, he would be the demonic creature he deserves to be. What is it at T6? 47%. Yeah, 8% 2 times. Why is this an 8%? Up to 9% on enhancement. Garbage. With an 8% physical damage increase with a 50% chance to freeze. And then heals HP equal to 30% of max HP. That's not terrible, but that's a transcendence. Same thing with this one. 75% plus 18%, a 70% chance to freeze. Strike. But even then, that only really affects the enemies in a row. To be honest, I want Frozen Strike to not be this weird skill. They just need to make this like a 3 target skill. Especially because like one of the main reasons that Spike isn't really good in PvP right now is that a lot of formations are using the 1 or 2 front rows. So unless he lands that on one of the back row people, it's kind of useless. It's not as good as when it's the protective formation meta. Same thing happening with UE T6 day 3. Yeah, sometimes like the wish list RNG is just like, you know what you need? You need this character, this rare character that's really good. Yeah, Yui is really good. Yui and Evan are probably the two rare characters that you want to get like T6 ASAP. Because they get really good bonuses. Because Evan's like T2 is it's alright, right? It's an extra turn on his stun, but you get block rate on his T6, which is 21%. Like that's a solid percent amount of block rate. And I think Yui just does more healing on her skills. Oh, and then she gives physical damage boost, and then I think wait, does she just give even more physical damage boost here? Yeah, she gives even more physical damage. The T6 isn't like a big deal, but the T2 for Yui is like really good. Because especially because you use her in the Destroyer Gaze, so she buffs your chain. While giving heals. Aron is T8 right now. That's insane. I think like my highest is Evan. Yeah, I don't think I have. I've had a pretty even spread of the rares. Which arguably isn't that bad, honestly. A lot of the support rares, their T2 passive is pretty good. No. I was wondering if we would get something that could replace the. I'm really hoping for the physical damage pet from those eggs at some point. Which I think is the cat for the rare one. Yeah, I'm hoping for either the cat or Nina's little pet version of herself for the crit rate. For insta hatch eggs, no, I'm gonna check this thing. Honestly, I have an issue when I see like a red exclamation point on my menu. So just having that red exclamation point is it's enough to bother me, and then I'll look and then I'll be like, all right, those things exist, and then I'll hatch the eggs. Fuse the way your Nina, yeah, that's why you gotta be careful, especially if you're doing the auto ad system. It'll accidentally yeet really good pets. Because like realistically, all the pets, depending on what you want to do, most of the pets are pretty good. I think like the bird's like the worst one, which is why they gave you her for free. But like Paragon is used in PvP setups until you get the legendary. Note, Sherry are really good. Nikki is used for PvP setups until you get the legendary one. All of these are great just because they help your farming. Nina's like probably the main one you use until you get like enough crit rate where you don't really need her. But she's really good early on. Just a free, what is she like 17%? Yeah, 17%. Though at like T4 she's like 13. Still, it's like a free basically 10% crit rate that you don't have to worry about for a while. Do you need dupes of them to get them to 5-star and 6-star? Oh, oh, pets. Oh, ranking up pets is such a, it's a great thing. Oh, I love pets. Yeah, so in order to rank up a pet, you need the same pet at the same rank. So in order to get a Nina to rank like 5, you need a 4-star Nina. And I think they both have to be enhanced too. Like they both need to be +5. That I don't remember too much on. Let me see. This should probably tell us. Yeah, they both need to be +5 and the same rank. So in order to get a 6-star Nina, you need 2 5-star Ninas that are +5 to put together to rank up. This is why this whole existence is the reason I say the equipment cost is unnecessary. Because once you start trying to enhance your pets, like the amount of gold that goes out the window is ridiculous. Like it's crazy how expensive it is. Team for Gaze 9, would it be better to get equipment for Ox? Should you keep trying to advance in Gaze? Um, to be honest, if you can clear a higher level of a raid, you should always do it, regardless of which one it is. because even if you don't use the the like the equipment, so from instance for gaze, like you if you haven't cleared it, you should just do it anyway, just get the rupees, obviously. But for Charon, for instance, will he wants the attack because his heal scales off of attack, so it's still kind of useful. And you can use it to filler some stuff along the way, especially for ultimate enhancement, depending on how it goes. But in regards to like actively farming it past your 3 daily, I would really suggest only doing that for Iron Devourer and Ox King. Because Destroyer Gaze literally it's just one piece of gear that's good for one character. It's really just not worth unless they start adding more like supports and healers that scale off of just raw attack. Which I don't know if they'll do that. But yeah, generally the rule of thumb is you always want to advance all your raids. Because you always want to do the 3 raids daily for each of them because 6-star equipment goes for a decent amount of gold. You'll make a decent amount of gold selling it. So it's always better to have it because it costs the same amount of keys anyway. So you won't really be at a loss. If anything, you'll always be at a to gain from having higher levels. Aaron and Kree as well. Yeah, and you have to do the same thing for them. It's the pet system is that's the real grind once you finish to cap out your teams because the bonuses from those are just too good. But I need to go prepare dinner, so that's going to be it for the weekend. I do appreciate everybody for stopping by. I hope all of you are enjoying the 7 nights. I will also say that make sure kind of take it at your own pace. 7 nights can be kind of aggravating, especially with the system. So just remember, have fun. I will say, I will preface, I don't always stream like 7 nights gacha games. Usually my current schedule is Monday through Thursday. I stream in the evening. I've been streaming Lords of the Fallen, but should you ever have any questions for 7 nights, you can join the Discord. We have a gacha channel, so you can ask in there, or you can always just stop by and ask. I'll always answer questions, even if it's not about the game that I'm playing at the moment, as long as I know the answer. So, hope everybody has a good day. If it's early day for you, hope you have a good day. If it's late in day for you, hope you rest well. Stay safe, stay hydrated. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye bye.